Is this in frame now? Yes, perfect. All right. So it has been about 5 or 6 months since my last full in-depth pickups video, which was what, November? Yeah, so about 5 or 6 months since then. And I remember saying in my fashion goals video at the start of the year that one of my biggest goals was to revamp and change my spring summer, really more on the summer end, the really hot months of the year wardrobe to a way that better expresses my actual style and not just wearing things because it's hot outside or something like that. So I thought I did a pretty good job of that. I wouldn't say it's like finished or final or anything like that, or end game or whatever you want to call it, but I think I did a pretty good job. I'm actually really excited for summer now, dressing wise. There's a lot of outfits that I have been kind of wear testing because in Southern California, it goes from being 80 one day and sunny to like 50 degrees and just absolute pouring rain.
Dog, I literally cannot see out of my car!
So it's been very weird bipolar weather recently. So I've been able to actually wear test some of the things that I will be wearing, or at least in my head will be wearing for the hotter months coming up. And I thought I would just kind of run you down all of the pickups that I've gotten since like end of January, early February. And then after we kind of talk about in depth, the things that I bought, I will have a segment at the end where we kind of just, like in my first video that I ever did, throw on some outfits and talk you through why I'm wearing them and like kind of just different style options with the clothes that I have in my wardrobe now for spring and summer. So starting off first, we might as well just start with the most special item in this entire video, which is this Dries jacket from fall winter 24-25. It's kind of become like this weird tradition for me to like crash out on a Dries jacket like every February at this point. Because as most of you who have been here know, that this channel pretty much started with my Van Born bomber that I bought last February. And this February was no different, and crashed out on this jacket that I didn't necessarily plan on buying. Like, unlike the Van Born jacket, this jacket was on my wish list, but it was one of those items that are just so ridiculously expensive that you never actually think you're going to own it, but you just keep them on the wish list just in case, or like as like a style direction, maybe to get like an alternative later down the line. Because this jacket retails for about 1,800 euros or 2,000 USD. Again, retail, I know you can get it cheaper, which I definitely did. Like, obviously, I did not drop 2K on this jacket. But yeah, of course, I bought another crazy crash out Dries jacket in February, right before the seasons change, and I can't wear it anymore. And I have to wait almost an entire year to wear it. But yeah, the price on this was just way too good. I remember when this collection first dropped, I was really in love with this silhouette, but the ones that were shown on the runway were actually different variants. There was like this pink one, and I don't remember what the other color was, but they have like these very big 3D fur collars, which, of course, for a Dries show makes a lot of sense. For me and my normal pedestrian life, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have like this crazy looking chinchilla fur collar on. Luckily for me, I didn't know this jacket existed until that collection dropped. I don't know if he ever showed this jacket anywhere before the collection officially dropped. Dries is kind of weird that way. You don't always know exactly what's in the collection until it goes to the website, and then the website even releases clothes in waves, so it's really weird trying to get like new season Dries. Um, but anyways, I saw this jacket. I don't remember exactly when. It was right before the 24-25 rollout happened. So I kind of looked into it more because it was titled the Verona Melton Wool jacket versus the Verona Beast jacket, which is the runway versions that I was talking about earlier. And so that made me like look up into like Melton Wool. I have heard of Melton Wool before. I wasn't exactly sure what Melton Wool was. And basically, Melton Wool is just this, I guess, special. I don't want to call it a special variant, but it undergoes a extra processing thing called fulling, which essentially just removes a lot of the oils and impurities before it's woven into a textile. And then it is also during when it's woven, Melton wool is also woven into a much thicker wool twill than traditional wool is. And then, of course, like the benefits of having a thick wool twill versus a non-thick wool twill is that you're going to be less prone to pilling and fraying, and it's just going to be overall more sturdy and substantial. I don't know if this will really come up on camera, but a lot of Melton wool has this very fuzzy, like outer consistency versus like a typical wool. And yeah, I'm just really happy with this. It is like a little bit on the heavy side for Southern California for LA weather, but this year has been really weird. It's been really cold and really rainy, more than I've ever seen. Like right after the LA fires happened, it was like this really cruel, like Mother Nature, like ironic moment where it just has been pouring rain like nonstop since then. So even though I did buy this at the middle-ish of February, I was able to get kind of a good amount of wear out of it since then. But yeah, I like today it was like 60 degrees, and last week it was like 80 degrees. So we're kind of in that weird transitional period. So I might be able to wear it a few more times. But yeah, the price was way too good to pass on. It was a jacket that I was heavily interested in before. I was really looking at only buying jackets that had epaulets at the time. So my finalist jackets was basically this jacket and another Dries jacket from, I believe it was Spring Summer 25. So Dries's last collection. The reason why I didn't buy that one was just because it was a little too Prada Jill Sanda coded, kind of. Maybe if I have time, I'll throw up a picture of it on screen. But yeah, it was not. This one was just definitely more my vibe. What I was going for. It was also navy, and I really wanted black, and I didn't really want to settle for a statement piece like this. So yeah, this pretty much covers all my needs. It's a very aggressive jacket, or at least for me and my style, but I like that because it adds tension to outfits that are pretty uniform for me. Um, you'll see what I'm talking about when we get into the outfit portion of this video. But yeah, it adds that little bit of flair and tension to an otherwise very muted and toned down outfit, at least again for my style. And I honestly really couldn't be happier with this. It fits me absolutely perfectly. Just touching back again on the Melton wool thing, the other thing that's cool about this jacket that really adds to that historical context is it being a military style jacket. It's really cool to know where the material was actually sourced from, like what mill. So this Melton wool comes specifically from Amesbury, which is a like heritage textile mill in the UK. And that name might not immediately like be familiar to you or raise your eyebrows or anything like that, but you are definitely familiar with their work. They are the sole proprietor of all the materials that the royal family from England wears for like their formal dinners. Anytime they give like a public type of speech or anything like that, that is the company that is responsible for clothing the royal family. And then, even more significant than that, is that the iconic red jacket that the King's Guard wear at, is it Buckingham Palace? I think so. Don't quote me, I'm American, okay? But I'm pretty sure that the King's Guard at Buckingham Palace, that red jacket, that is also essentially this jacket, just obviously styled differently, but that is literally the material that is made out of those jackets. So I thought it was really cool for pretty much the only really heavily inspired military jacket that I own to come from one of the most prestigious and most historically, I don't know, famous military uniforms that are out there, being the bright crimson red Buckingham Palace King's Guard uniform. So again, just it's the little things that kind of add to clothing for me that makes things stick around in my closet for a really long time. So yeah, love this jacket. I'm so grateful, by the way, that I was able to get this for the price that I did, and I'm very grateful. It's like almost surreal, you know. Like I said, it's one of those items that you just don't think you're ever going to own, and then one random day you're doom scrolling on one of your thousands of boutique bookmarks, And yeah, it just comes up for a price that you can afford, and I absolutely love it. So that was the Verona Beast Melton Wool jacket. And then sticking with the theme of, I guess, outerwear, we'll just go up to the next item, which is outerwear, but on the entirely different side of the spectrum of fashion purchases, which is this trench coat from Uniqlo of all places. Yeah, you guys obviously know that I am not a Uniqlo customer or fan, really. It just doesn't make sense for how I like to consume fashion and clothing, again, with like that whole backstory with clothes. Not all of my clothes need to have this elaborate backstory, but for the more essential pieces, I do really like to have additional meaning to my clothes. But this item, the reason why I bought this, one, aside from it just being absolutely fire, is because I recently have been layering my outfits way more than I ever have. So blouson styled rain jackets don't really work for my wardrobe anymore, because I like my outer layer to basically engulf my entire outfit underneath. And I really want that extra room. I want the outerwear to drape nicely over my clothes. So yeah, bloussons just don't really work for that purpose anymore. And luckily for me, being more into Lemaire now that I am, and after doing that Lemaire video, I started paying way more attention to Uniqlo U. Obviously, I've known Uniqlo U's existed for a long time. I even have T-shirts that I bought from them like 4 or 5 years ago that still um, like does well, like after many washes and everything like that. So I'm like familiar with Uniqlo U. I just never thought I'd be a Uniqlo U customer, but again, now everything coming full circle, me being into Lemaire as much as I am, I wouldn't say all of the pieces that they make remind me of Lemaire, but there are some there are some pieces that are almost exact one to ones of what Lemaire makes, and this is definitely one of them. So I think it's called the box car coat or the car jacket, something along those lines. It's a trench, and it looks almost identical to this, the Lemaire one, to this. And again, I live in Southern California. I am never going to invest, hundreds of dollars in outerwear because I just don't need it like for more than 2, maybe 3 months out of the year. But I also don't want to have to like wear outerwear because it's raining, Like that's the whole reason why I bought the Enzo jacket, was because it was a cool rain jacket that I would wear when it wasn't raining because it looks so cool. So, following along with that logic, I didn't want to just buy any rain jacket now that I needed another one with my current style. And this was literally perfect because it encapsulates Lemaire's aesthetic perfectly, obviously being designed by Christophe and Sarah Len. And more than that, I was really skeptical about buying from Uniqlo, because it's a fast fashion company. So yeah, it's nice and all that, Christoph and Sarah Lynn are designing these pieces, and they of course have their own eponymous line that is like really into quality and more of that slow fashion cycle, I guess. But at the end of the day, Uniqlo is owned by Fast Fashion Retailing or something like that, Fast Retailing. So it is a fast fashion company, literally. And with with fast fashion companies comes the obvious, low quality garments. Um, Obviously, for things to be priced at as low as they are, you're not going to get the craziest sourced materials. You're not going to get the cleanest stitching. You're not going to get the most well made garments that you possibly can, because that is not the point of fast fashion. So again, bringing us back to why I wanted to try them out was because I am someone who doesn't want to invest in a long-term piece for a garment that I'm not going to wear a lot of times out of the year. And I'm actually very decently surprised. Now, not everything from their line is made well or made up to a standard that I would want to wear myself. I was able to try a lot of the stuff on at a store recently, and I kind of went through all of it. Especially like their synthetic blends. The synthetic blends from Uniqlo are pretty caca, but that is like to be expected. But this jacket, I'm actually really, really impressed. Again, for Uniqlo standards, I'm really impressed with Uniqlo on this jacket because I mean the stitching, the attention to details with like the water guard flaps on the pockets. There is double like on the backside of these buttons, it's reinforced stitching on the backside. So there's like these little things throughout that just aren't really necessary for a fast fashion type of jacket, but they did it anyways in this coat. Um, and then other things that I love about this jacket or this coat, trench, whatever you want to call it, is that the design aesthetics really follow that of Lemaire in the sense that these sleeves are the that crescent shape that is throughout all of Lemaire's products, like their croissant bag and the twist trousers. Basically, any of the twist series, they have sleeves or leg openings that look like that more crescent shape, and they even have snap buttons so that when you snap it, it like cinches off the end and it becomes even more voluminous. So stylistically, I mean, it's basically almost a one-to-one to like Lemaire trenches that they sell. And then material wise, this is a cotton poly blend, which funny enough is Lemaire's exact blend of materials. I have touched one of the Lemaire box coats, car coats, the car trench, whatever it's actually called. I don't know the actual name. Um, the materials on it did feel a little bit more substantial than this. But am I going to sit here and tell you that it's an $800 difference of quality? Probably not. But for me, this was perfect. I think I got this for like $120 because this is technically from the fall winter collection from Uniqlo, fall winter 24. And I have a friend that lives in Oss, and luckily for me, Oss is like not a real place, and they live in like this really they have like this really like goofy temporal timing over there. So they're like a season behind us. So this just dropped in Australia, and I got to pay the Australian price for it, which was like I don't know 200 Australian monies, whatever they call it, and it came out to being like 120 USD. So to have basically a Lemaire trench for $120 that fits all of my needs stylistically and functionally, that is like fantastic. And then the other thing about this jacket is that it didn't have, so it had this hole for like is it called the Suten styled collar? I don't remember the exact name, but essentially it had a buttonhole, but it had no button. Lemaire does this too with some other pieces. I don't understand why. But my friend in Us, he cut and sews clothes. So I had him just add this button so you can wear the collar up like that, which I'll probably show you in the styling portion of the video as well. So yeah, I mean, it checks all my boxes. Really nice brown color. It has a bit of a coating on the outside. So exactly what I needed for rainwear. Again, I'm someone who really needs like one rainwear type of piece ever living where I do now. But yeah, couldn't be more happy with this piece. Solid little pickup from Uniqlo U. And then sticking with, I guess let's just stick with Uniqlo because I did buy a few more things from Uniqlo from the spring summer 25 collection that just dropped in America. Let's talk about these two items. They're the same thing, they're just in different colors. This is I don't know the name of this. It's just a button up shirt. I don't know what it's called on the website. But yeah, I needed to figure out how to retain my style during the colder months in the summer. And something that I have known about myself for a long time since like my childhood is that I love button up shirts. But for the summer seasons, I don't want a really premium Orly Finks cotton shirt or even a Lemaire cotton shirt, just because in the summertime I tend to do more active things. I like going to the beach with my friends. So when I'm spending all day in very different like I don't know what call it scenarios. Like I could be at like, getting lunch with my friends, and then we go straight from lunch to walking to the beach, playing spike ball or beach volleyball or something like that. I don't want a piece of clothing that I'm scared to get messed up. I want to be able to like really live in my clothes. And for the most part, like most of my shirts are like that, like even the Orly and Lemaire ones that I do have. But I was really intentional with exactly where and when I'd wear these. The other thing with these is that it is a extremely sheer and lightweight cotton. I'm not someone who is a big fan of linen, which is like obviously a very popular summer material for its breathability. And I'm also not a fan of polyester. Now, when I say polyester, I mean specifically for my button-up shirts. I'm not a huge fan of polyester. So the first thing that comes to mind when I think of like polyester for summer is the Issey Miyake pleats set that I know a lot of people are fans of. So the thing about polyester is that it's not very breathable. The reason why people wear polyester in the summertime is typically because it's moisture wicking. So like think about like your athleisure type of clothing. But I want something that I can sweat in, but I run like really hot, so I don't really like wearing full polyester for the summertime. It's just way too suffocating for me. So that's why these are just perfect. They were like $50 each, I think, somewhere around there. But Uniqlo runs sales all the time. This is from the U line as well. I don't know if I mentioned that already. But yeah, it has, again, striking resemblances, which of course makes sense, to Le Maire's main line. Primarily with this collar, I am obsessed with Le Maire's collar, the thickness, the point of it. With a button-up shirt that is, more of a basic piece, it's those little things that really matter to me on how it's going to look. The other thing that I like about this is that it's a wider cut of a shirt, so it drapes very nicely and works with some of the other pieces very well that I will show you in a second. And yeah, they're just button-up shirts, nothing too special. But again, I've already been wearing both of these a ton right now with like the weird kind of weather that we're having in Southern California. And these both go really well with the two pants that I also bought from Uniqlo U. Same material. They're like this broadcloth cotton textured material. I'll put this one in the front because this one makes a bit more sense to go in front. So yeah, just cotton pants. Now, the thing that is just absolutely amazing about these pants is that I am in love with the twist trousers from La Mer, the twist jeans. And I've been trying to find something that is the same silhouette. Literally everything is exactly the same, except it's made out of a material that I can wear during the warmer months. And luckily for me, they literally did. They being Christoph and Sarah Lynn, basically just made their twist pants in a cotton. And now I know La Mer does make like twisted cotton pants, but I'm not paying $500 or $600 for cotton pants. Like my max is like 450, and that's for denim, like heavy denim. So I'm not, and that's even on the high end. So like I'm not about to like crash out on some cotton pants that I'm only really trying to wear for like 2-ish months out of the year, because that's really the amount of time that it's like too hot to wear jeans in Southern California for me, at least. So it was so awesome that I was able to find these two pants. The other thing that's really cool, something that I never thought I'd use myself personally, because I've always hated this about pants, is that they have cinched hems. So you can actually play with the styling quite a bit with these. And because that they're curved, when you do cinch off that end, like I showed you in the trench coat, it creates an even more crescent and voluminous shape with the leg. And again, I'm going to show you all this at the end when we go into outfits, but there are some very interesting things or interesting outfits that I've been able to make with this feature that I never thought I would be able to before. I never thought I would be interested in trying before, that have made me even like fall in love with these pants even more. Also, if you're looking to buy these, specifically this color has been selling out a lot. So keep your eye out on that, because if you go, whenever I end up uploading this video, they might be sold out on Uniqlo's website, but they have been restocking this color. The black, not so much, like it hasn't been moving as fast. And always get Uniqlo on sale because they discount things pretty fast after they drop like a full on like lookbook set. But yeah, this and this is pretty much like my Issey Miyake pleats set. That's the intention I had with buying this, but it fits my like needs more. It fits my style more. I don't like how flowy pleats please are. I don't like polyester. And then La Mer, of course, makes this type of a set in a what they call dry silk, which is I think like a 70-ish% silk to a 20-ish% polyamide. And I love the texture of that set. But again, I'm not gonna drop like an exorbitant amount of money for things that I'm only gonna wear a few months out of the year. And that material is also not as breathable as just the sheer cotton. So Yeah, never thought I'd be a Uniqlo customer, but this is why keeping an open mind to things and not having like that really rigid elitism when it comes to clothes, especially the further you get into luxury fashion, it's very easy to adopt that mindset. I am very guilty of that myself. When you're buying things like Dries and Lemaire and the Row and all these other things, it's really easy to kind of like lose sight of what clothes are really meant to do, which is to be an extension of your personality and for you ultimately just to be comfortable in them and to look good in them. Okay, that is enough about Uniqlo. Let us get into some other interesting things that I have picked up. Not gonna like break this one down very in depth or anything, but this is a tank from Jan Jan van Esse, who is a Belgian designer who's really influenced by Japanese and in African culture, I believe. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure he is a Belgian designer based in Antwerp. I visited a shop in Antwerp. I can't remember the name of it. Sorry. I do remember. It's called the Solaire Shop in Antwerp. And that was the first time I had hands on experience with Yan Yan's work and Evan Kenori's work, which is something that I desperately need to get my hands on. Just I'm trying to find the right piece for the right price. But yeah, that was pretty much exclusively, at least around October of last year and years prior, the only place that you could find Jan Jan van Esse in store. So I was able to try out his fabrics, and I obviously really love them. The reason why I bought this was because I really wanted a tank that could be used as a sweater vest during like the fall winter styled months, because I don't like buying things for like one purpose. So I didn't want to buy this and only wear it when it was hot as a tank, especially because I'm not someone who likes wearing just tanks by themselves very often. Like I will when I have to, which will be like a couple weeks out of the year. But I wanted to make sure that something like this could be used for multiple purposes. I actually bought this in I think January or February when it was still really cold. Again, really cold for Southern California, and I was wearing it a lot as a again layering piece, almost as that sweater vest kind of style. Um, this is what are the materials on this? I know there's linen in this, but uh, it's cotton hemp. Yeah, so it's 70% cotton, 30% hemp, and yeah, it's just really cool. So like what I also like about this a lot is like this spine stitching down the back. I wouldn't say it reminds me of Rick Owens, but Rick Owens does like a similar thing where it's just like a little bit of detail that makes a more boring piece more unique. The other thing about this is it has a very like wide cut. It almost reminds me of like a tunic styled vest. And I also really like this color because it is like this. I don't know. They call it khaki or something on the website, but yeah, it's like this kind of greenish tone. In certain lightings, it looks more brown. So just kind of really fits that palette of my wardrobe that I'm trying to build out. But yeah, nothing really extra to say about this. It is just a cotton vest at the end of the day. And like Evan Kenori, I do hope to own more Yan Yan Vanessa in the future. It's just really pricey. It's definitely worth the price point for like all the natural dyes that they use and everything, but it's just not something that I can really like afford to buy at this moment in time. But it's definitely on my radar, and I really like Yan Yan's work. Um, Next two pieces are from Lemaire. I again, like I said, I'm a huge button-up guy, so definitely wanted to add some more button-ups from the more springish and really summertime seasons. They are not the same silhouette; they're slightly different. This is the pajama shirt from Lemaire. It is made out of primarily cotton, but it has a silk blend. It has that silk tax in there. What is it? It's definitely more than 11%. Okay. Um, yeah, so it's 80% cotton, 20% silk. Now, Lemaire does a lot of interesting things with silk. So I'm someone who personally hates the feeling of 100% silk, like the processed one, the one that is like the very flowy and soft feeling one, not like the raw silk shirts that some companies make poplins out of. But I don't like that slimy, weird feeling that silk gives me when I wear it on my bare skin. Like I know a lot of you might be like, "What the hell is he talking about?" But it's just again, it's my tism. It's one of my tisms. I just can't do silk on my skin. But La Mer does a lot of interesting silk blends. So this is a silk cotton, obviously, and then they also do, like I said, they call it dry silk, which is like a polyamide silk blend, and it just has like this very good, I don't know how to describe it. It's like this very tactile feeling to it, which I definitely want to get my hands on in the future. I just again need to find it at a good price point because that dry silk goes for like crazy amounts of money that I am unwilling to spend for a shirt. But yeah, so this is great for me because it is extremely, again, lightweight. I love the motif of it. Like the collar design is really fun. It's a bit different than like your typical pointy standard workwear collar. And I've been wearing this a lot. I've been layering with it. I've been layering the Yan Yan vest over this recently. And I also really like the color of this. It has like this very milky color in person, and they matched it with these Corzo buttons in the same kind of like milky, glossy texture. I really love Corzo buttons right now, by the way. The La Mer buttons that they use are fantastic. I know a lot of people love like the mother of pearl buttons, which I still do, which Lee likes to use a lot, but the Corzo buttons I've become a really big fan of. Single pocket on the shirt, or sorry, double pocket on the shirt. I really love pockets on button-up shirts, especially the more basic ones, because wearing just a traditional button-up that has like a French placket can be a little bit too minimal for me, especially if I'm only wearing like this and a pair of shorts when it's hotter out. So having the double pockets I thought was a really cool touch. Um, and then this second shirt from La Mer, this is the cotton polyamide blend that I was talking about earlier. So not the silk variant, but the cotton polyamide variant, but it still has that kind of like, yeah, I don't really know how to describe it. It's just like this very tactile feeling to it that I really love. Like it feels really good on your skin to wear like with no shirt underneath or something like that. Now this one does have mother of pearl buttons on the side, the iridescent mother of pearl buttons, which are really cool. Double pocket, but instead of it being one in one on each side, it's like the double workwear pocket that they do for a lot of their pieces. And then, of course, the contrast stitching throughout, which I think without the contrast stitching, I wouldn't have bought this and I wouldn't have gravitated towards a piece like this. The really cool thing about this is that when you wear it layered, you have like this, especially when you wear it layered with like a jacket and it's open. And you'll see that in one of the outfits I'll probably make, is that it has like this very cool contrast pop of white going straight down with like the contrast stitching and the mother of pearl buttons poking through. So I really love wearing this with like a black coat over the top of it because it just adds that little bit of an extra dimension to an otherwise like very basic all black looking outfit. I've been trying to nail all black for myself. I really like all black on other people, but I feel that too much of me gets lost in all black, and I sometimes I'm like trying, feels like I'm trying too hard to like be mysterious or something. So I need to find ways to wear all black in a way that kind of just represents more of my personality, and I feel like this is a really good way for me to be able to wear all black fits but break it up in a way that feels more me. And then on the back, we have this storm flap. Now, obviously, the storm flap is not going to protect you from anything, maybe just other than the wind, but it's there. It's a cool like aesthetic feature. But again, like it really serves no purpose other than like aesthetically. And yeah, just a very cool button up. This is very big on me, so I sized up. So it's already like a wider cut shirt, but I also sized up so that it fit almost reminiscent of like a Bottega Veneta short sleeve shirt. I really love the shapes of Bottega Veneta for their short sleeves, but I don't really like their materials. They're usually like a very heavyweight cotton, and I hate Bottega prices. Like, what do I look like spending $800 on a button-up shirt? Like, that is not my tax bracket. So we keep it pushing. But this has been a great piece for me. Again, I love items that I can wear pretty much any points of the year, and this will work. This has been working for me in the colder months, layered with things, and then obviously this will be great for a standalone summer piece. And then the last item for the pickups are these shorts from Comme des Garçons. These are really cool because they are 100% wool shorts, and I'm someone who likes the idea of wool pants, but I just never, at least right now in my life, I don't really have scenarios where I feel they are really appropriate for me to wear. Again, I am a college student who also works a job. I don't really go out and do like nightlife things. So wool pants don't ever really feel like they fit the environment that I'm in because they're just too dressy, too formal, too mature for me. But taking that and putting it into a short form, it just I don't know, it just works way better for me, and it also helps alleviate the problem of shorts for me because I am not a shorts person. Like you guys know, I only own literally one pair of shorts, and that's the Bottega Veneta shorts that I had in my last summer pickups video. And the problem with shorts for me is that shorts just look too informal. Like there is not just that, it's also like the cuts. It's really hard for me to find a good pair of shorts that do exactly what I want it to do. And I think in the summertime, one of my biggest problems with outfits in previous summer seasons was that my outfits just came across way too like relaxed, too dressed down for my liking. And adding a wool short like this into the mix just does something to those outfits that I just didn't like know or I didn't know like could exist in my wardrobe before. And these shorts are really great because again, like I said, they're 100% wool, but they're also cotton lined, so that's really nice. Like all of the pockets are cotton lined, and the stitching on these are amazing, and they are bias cut, so it's a very like I'm not like a Comme des Garçons like customer. I don't think like I absolutely love their work. I love watching their runways and trying to understand what it is that Rei Kawakubo is trying to do. I never understand what she's trying to do, but that's like the fun of it. Um, but yeah, it's cool being able to own a piece of that history, a piece of Rei Kawakubo's Comme des Garçons, because again, not trying to wish any ill on any person, but she's very old in age and she's not going to be around forever. So it's really cool that I can say that I own a pair of comb shorts, or like I own something from CDG while she was still there. This is technically from the one of the diffusion lines comb shirt. Um, but yeah, it's like it's perfect for me because there are little hints of it being a product from Comme des Garçons without it being like in your face that it's CDG, because that's definitely not my vibe. But yeah, you'll see as we get into the outfit portion what these do to my outfits. I absolutely love them. They're extremely flowy. They kind of start off kind of narrower at the waist, and you can even wear these really high waisted, or at least you can on me because I have really long legs and a skinny waist. They almost look like a corset, kind of, or like almost like a skirt when you wear them really high waisted and they flow down. I'm not really into that look, but you can do that if you were wanting to. I don't know the name of these, by the way. If you're trying to buy these, I have no idea. But yeah, really love how flowy they are. There's like this almost half pleat on each side that give it like that extra bit of elevation that my more basic outfits during the summer kind of need. There's two pockets on the back, one that is like a button pocket, and the other one is just like this. I guess it's almost like a welt style pocket with no button. Um, and my biggest concern about these was that because it's wool, it was going to be too hot to wear during like the warmer seasons and the warmer months. But like the other day, like I said, it was like 86 degrees outside and they were absolutely fine. So love this piece. Probably don't need another pair of shorts. Like I might buy another pair of shorts next year. Like I'm not like a one pair of shorts per year type of guy right now, because I just, again, if it's the times that it's too hot to wear really flowy, thin weight cotton pants is like maybe a month out of the entire year. And that's when I'm going to wear these. So don't really need to stock up on shorts too much, but it is nice to have the option if I ever want to. And yeah, I just mopped these floors and we're not about to remop them. So this is going down first. And I just realized that I forgot one pickup. It's because I'm wearing it. This is also from Uniqlo. This is from the U line, of course. And then this is also from that same collection that I got the trench from, the fall winter 24 trench. Uh, yeah, I don't really care to break down Uniqlo pieces that much because I just don't think they're like it's necessary. But if you care, this is called the drape shirt. I think it's 100% lyocell, which I was really interested actually in trying because La Mer makes 100% lyocell shirts as well. That I do like that material, but this is a lot thicker than the lyocell shirts that La Mer makes because I believe that La Mer makes those shirts more for like the spring summer seasons, not a fall winter version of lyocell. So really interesting to see a lyocell material fabric that is this thick, but I absolutely love the shirt. I love how, of course, it drapes on my body. So I thought we'd just start off with this fit first because I have been spamming this. I like to just wear this with my tried and trusted goodies. Oh, let me show you guys, give you an update on like how good these are breaking in and wearing. This is probably the best. Okay, before I say some crazy glaze, this is one of the best things that I've ever purchased for fashion. Um, they're just great. They're just like a great everyday shoe. They do exactly what I wanted to. But the one reason why I wasn't wearing these a whole lot after I bought them, one, I was kind of scared to mess them up, but then I got over that because they look way more worn in, or they look way better worn in. But two, it was like the insufferable, and I mean insufferable leather laces that they come with. At first I was like, oh, that's so cool and so unique, and I'm gonna love wearing like the how like you're supposed to lace them underneath the shoe with like shorts and everything. Bro, no. I'm hella lazy. Like if you guys couldn't tell, I'm so lazy. I'm not even using a shoehorn right now. But yeah, super lazy. I was trying to figure out why I wasn't wearing them so much. And then I was like, yeah, after my first pair, I snapped both of these laces within like the first day I wanted to wear them. And then I snapped the replacements. And I was like, you know what? As soon as I'm done through like all of these laces, I'm just gonna get some normal wax laces because I just can't be bothered. But yeah, so I mean, like you guys know, my style is pretty simplistic, pretty basic, but with like I don't know, I just really like muted utilitarian styles right now that just fit my body well, and this is something that I just really don't have to think about and just feels very me when I go places. So yeah, one of my favorite outfits at the moment. Obviously, on bottom, we have my tried and trusted West jeans from Vujade in the selvage. I think this is the only pair of Vujade jeans that I still own. So do with that information what you will. And yeah, just super, super simple outfit that is really good for like these transitional seasoned temperatures that we're having in LA. Okay, and then for my next outfit, again, obviously this is more of a cold weather outfit, um, but this is essentially my like, or was my winter, early spring uniform. Um, we have the Verona jacket on top. Um, the layer underneath is that La Mer shirt, and then you can really see what I'm talking about with how an all black fit broken up with like a belt and the contrast white buttons and stitching that go down just gives this a little bit extra I don't know, character. I have other all black shirts like the Uniqlo one that I showed you that I've tried with this. I've also tried like a black t-shirt, and while it still obviously works, like this just hits much different than the other two. And then of course my La Mer twists on bottom, Guides, and yeah, this is essentially, like I said, my cold weather uniform. The other thing that I wear a lot during the colder seasons is my 3D pocket jacket from La Mer that you guys have seen in the previous pickups video. And that's pretty much like my dialed in uniform. I like my outer layers to kind of be the same. And then I can kind of play around with the accessories like a belt, the shoes, neckwear, or the underlayer shirt. And yeah, it gives me enough variance, like those little things that you can change and swap within the uniform gives me enough variance to make it feel like I'm my style or what I wear isn't getting too stale, which typically isn't the an issue that I come across very often. Like I don't really get tired of things. I just typically will kind of get out of whatever style those clothes were leading me down towards. Um, and I just absolutely love like this outfit or any outfit that I make with the Lemaire jacket. So yeah, it's really nice to have a good shirt rotation now that I can pretty much just swap any shirt that I own out with something like this, and it just works. That is what I want my wardrobe to do currently in my life. I want it to be, well made for the most part, do its function, and just work without having to think about it. I really like thinking and overthinking and, really analyzing and breaking down things to wear, like to buy, I mean. And then, but when I get them in my wardrobe, I don't like sitting in front of my wardrobe and taking like ages to figure out what I'm going to wear on a certain day. I really like the idea of having a uniform now and just knowing exactly how those clothes are going to work for me throughout the day or whatever else I have to do. So yeah, pretty much my cold weather uniform and one of my favorite outfits that I have to date. Okay, and while I was making this next outfit, I realized that I just totally forgot to show you another item that I purchased recently, which are a new pair of flats. Let me get these out of the package really quick. They're still in its package because I I tried to get these in what I thought would be my right size, but I need another size down, so I am going to exchange these. But luckily for me, they do like free size exchange, like a one-time free size exchange. And these are the I guess you call them Chinese slippers from Joseph. I have been really recently infatuated, not in love, okay, big difference, infatuated with the piped loafers from Lemaire. But for something of that price and something of like that much of an egregious like styling thing that the whole piped series has, and like the weird like ankle collar, I I wanted to make sure that I really liked this motif and it really worked for my style before splashing the money on a Lemaire pair. I also just don't think it's necessary to buy those shoes specifically from Lemaire, and they didn't have like the Lemaire piped loafers. They're not perfect for what I was looking for. I have been searching for a pair of leather flats forever, like literally forever, since I've been into fashion, and nothing really like it was either something fit really well and it was really nice, but it was too nice, like it looked too formal, or the shape was wrong. And there's all these requirements that I have of a flat for me. It needs to be leather, it needs to be black. More recently, it needed to have like that piped stitching on the front toe because I really like that right now. It needs to have a babouche heel that you can step on and collapse on because I'd wear these more in the spring and summer times. So it was just really impossible for me to find a flat that felt good to wear, but also didn't feel too out of my comfort zone, being like too flashy. Also, the price points on a lot of leather flats are just absolutely ridiculous. Like, I recently tried the Canal Row loafers at the One Eye in LA, and for like 800 and something dollars, dude, that's a scam. Like, those flats are nothing. Like, there's no sole, the leather is super thin, they're not that comfortable, and the leather quality is just not that premium, especially for something that is like the Row. So again, really grateful that I have stores near me that I can like try all these things in hand and familiarize myself with them, because the I can't speak about Loewe, but the Lemaire flats that look like the Loewe toy slippers, I can't remember what the name of the Lemaire ones are called, but I tried those recently and those blew the Row ones out of the water, like literally out of the water. But they just didn't work for me because again, it just was too formal. The toe shape was wrong. But these I like a lot. They have that bit of goofiness and tension that this kind of a basic all black outfit needs. I could wear these uncinched with my guis, and that's totally fine. But this is just more interesting. I think for the summer seasons, I like to be a little bit more experimental with outfits. I like to be pushed a little bit out of my comfort zone because there's only so many things you can do to make an outfit more interesting during the summer months because you can't layer as much, and it is so hot. So having the cuffs on this, which is something that I would typically hate, and this like monk styled, like, kind of foot wear showing, I also would. I don't know if I'd say I typically hate it, but it's just I never saw it for me. As soon as I saw or got these pants in hand and kind of was playing around with the cinches, I immediately knew that the Chinese slippers would be a perfect like addition into my wardrobe to add some like fun character during the summer months. Um, so yeah, same Lemaire shirt that we talked about earlier, the Uniqlo U curved pants, but they're cinched, and then the Joseph Chinese slippers. So yeah, this is gonna get a lot of wear during the summer months. Like I said, I just have to wait on me exchanging these pairs because this is definitely too big. For anyone interested in this shoe, I'm like a true US 9.5, and you're supposed to size a full size down. I went a half size down, and the heels kind of just come out of the bag. So just need to go another half size down. And then to give you guys just like a back to back comparison of what those easy curve pants look like when you undo the cinch, they just kind of turn into your typical Lemaire twist pants, but like in that more cottony, summer flowy uh, type of material. And I love this outfit. This for me, like I said before, is kind of like my equivalent of a Issey Miyake pleats please kind of uniform for summer. Just really super lightweight and thin cotton. This is the Uniqlo U shirt. This is a navy Stu Nicholson t-shirt, and then easy pants and Guides. So yeah, again, more. This is probably like more what I'm wearing like as a uniform type of thing, whereas the previous uniform is like a more of a, I don't know, fun if you're going on like a trip somewhere or if you're, going out with people type of fit. But this is more me. I feel like every day, just, going about my business. Um, Dude, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, uniform, summer uniform, really nice. Obviously, the Lemaire influence is there because they do something similar to this in the dry silk set, and that's kind of like that's probably where I saw it for the first time, where I knew I kind of wanted to do this color blocking and style. But again, this outfit means a lot to me because, or it's a really good outfit for me because it is a direct one-to-one of how I dress during the fall winter seasons, but catered towards a more warm climate. So that was the really hard thing about getting into summer clothes because before I knew this, like I didn't know where to start with how to rebuild a summer wardrobe. I didn't know if I needed to, kind of take on a new style that was more summer fabric friendly, things that you would typically find more often in a summer fabric. But luckily for me, I was able to stay within kind of the brands that I like to wear. And of course, the design aesthetics from Uniqlo U are going to match that of Lemaire. So I just kind of lucked out in my case. But this is what I was kind of going on about in my goals video about trying to find things that worked for summer, but not sacrificing your already existing personal style. All right, and then this is that Lemaire pajama shirt that I was showing you guys. I wanted to just show it to you like this first so you can kind of just see it on body. I just completely splashed myself with water. That's why it looks like that. But really like the texture of this. It has like this almost kind of crinkled wrinkle effect, but without it being like, I know you guys probably have seen like those Orly, or I mean every brand does it. Like the very like crinkled poplin shirts. I don't like it when it looks like overly crinkled, like someone like deliberately took their garment and just bundled it up into a ball. But I do like that kind of just adds a little bit of texture and character to an outfit. Now I probably wouldn't wear this with these socks, but just for the sake of the video, I'm not gonna go and change a million times. Your boy is starving, and I'm trying to speed run this last portion. Okay, so for now, I'm just gonna have to pretend that I'm wearing this with different socks. But yeah, hopefully also this is in frame. It should be because I tested it before. But yeah, really like the shorts. So again, Lemaire top, the pajama top, comb shorts. Now you can kind of see what I was talking about with how they kind of sit pushed out and they kind of flare at the bottom. And when you kind of move, and I'm gonna hit a little twirl for you guys. Um, you can really see how they flow, and I just really like how interesting the cut of these are. I'm wearing them very high waisted. I could wear them lower if I wanted to. And then let me get this yan yan vest so you can kind of see how I would layer with this shirt. Okay, so yeah, spammed. I used to spam this during the colder months with my twist jeans and my brown Drees jacket. So this like little, I guess, base layer is really nice because I can wear it just year round, and it just adds a little bit to the outfit that otherwise wouldn't be there. So like I was touching on before, it's kind of hard to layer during the summer months, but when you wear something that is as thin and sheer as this material is, adding a cotton hemp material over the top of that doesn't really add any additional weight. And yeah, I'm just really happy with this because it's interesting, it's different, it allows me to still be me, but in again those hotter months where it's harder to express your personal style through layering, it really serves that purpose in my wardrobe that I feel like I'm missing a lot of the times with summer outfits. And you guys might feel the same way as me because I'm someone who doesn't like to accessorize. I don't wear a lot of jewelry. I'm not really a bag person. So the ways that you're able to easily elevate or diversify an outfit, um, I don't really have access to because I just don't prefer those things. So I need to do it in other creative ways with, like I said, with funky footwear, with layering materials that work well in the summertime. But again, still feel like me. I feel like I'm a broken record at this point, but that was kind of the whole purpose of this video, and the whole purpose of me changing my summer style was again to be me in a different season, which was not really something that I was ever able to do before. Okay, so my phone died again, and my microphone also died. So we are filming this on a different day, but that is besides the point. I have a few more outfits to run down with you guys, and I just realized that I haven't done like a trench fit yet. This you've obviously seen before. This is exactly what I think those are the only like 2 or 3 items that were from my last type of pickups video, the New Year's resolution video. So this is the La Mer denim kit that you guys have all seen if you have, or if you're not new to this channel. And like I was saying with the Drees jacket fit, I mean, this is essentially my cold weather uniform. I love a really good denim kit at the moment. And then this is basically how I would wear this trench. Let me make sure it's on it quickly. Yeah. So like I said, I don't really need anything super flashy because the times that I need to wear a trench like this is like very few and far in between. I did actually wear this today. As you can maybe tell by the lighting, it is a very gloomy, cold. I think it was like 60 degrees Fahrenheit as like the peak for today. And it was a little wet and drizzly. So it's, although it looks like I'm wearing a lot of layers because I kind of am, each layer isn't too warm. So even for like Southern California weather, it works really well for my lifestyle. Um, there is a hood on this trench as well. I totally forgot to go over that, but I am not going to put it up just because like it's just a thin hood. And let me show you what this looks like buttoned all the way up. 1 second. Okay, and then this is what it looks like with the standard collar just folded down on itself. And the thing that is really cool, like I don't know if I mentioned this when I was highlighting this trench earlier, but the buttons are completely concealed when you do like a full button up, and then it kind of like resembles like a Mac style jacket, a Macintosh jacket. So that's super cool. And then let me show you what the collar looks like fully done up in that Sutan styled collar that I had my friend help me with. Okay, and then this is what it looks like with the high neck collar buttoned all the way up. I mean, like you guys already know, I'm a like the huge Drees fan that I am. I absolutely love high collared things. So again, it just has this trench has so much versatility on how I would want to wear this. Again, I can wear it high necked, I can wear it traditional collar, I can wear it open, I can even roll the sleeves up and then wear it with like a shorts outfit. So Again, for like $100, you can't really beat this. The color, again, the construction for a Uniqlo piece is so much better than I thought it would be, and it's a lot better than a lot of the other Uniqlo pieces within the same line itself. So yeah, I'm not really sure why certain Uniqlo U pieces are just constructed better than others. Um, and then obviously the fit, I love how it just, like I was alluding to before, I really like my outer wear piece to completely engulf the layer that I'm wearing underneath, especially because I tend to layer so much. I have 3 layers on underneath this. It was the Uniqlo U black shirt that I got for summer, and then the denim shirt over that, and then obviously I'm wearing a t-shirt under my button-up shirt as well. So 3 layers on the top, and then the unique or the Lemaire twist jeans, and then of course just my Guidis. But yeah, I mean, so many different ways to wear this. It is just a kind of no-brainer trench coat for my closet. Okay, and now leaning more back into like this summer kind of outfits. This is basically, yeah, it is like a fully it's like a full Uniqlo set. Yeah, Uniqlo button up on top, the easy pants on bottom, and I kind of wanted to show you guys exactly the reason why I originally bought these drape pant or the easy curve pants. I know in a previous fit we had them cinched off at the bottom to add just a little bit more interesting detail to a more basic outfit and to highlight the Chinese slippers in the other one. But this is really the reason why I bought them is I wanted to for them to basically replicate the twist jeans but in the summer months. So I think they just do an absolutely beautiful job of just being that twist denim that I need, but in like a summer flowy material. And again, topic of uniform. This is basically what I would probably wear just every day this coming up summer. So really happy with this. I feel like it is very me. I'm not really sacrificing anything, even though I don't know if on camera it comes off as like it's like I don't know too warm to wear during the summer months. Like it's really hard to portray what material feels like through a camera lens. But if you guys were to have this in hand, you can totally see how this really thin, like broadcloth cut cotton shirt and these really thin, flowy cotton pants is going to be totally fine in pretty much any heat. Like the only temperatures I wouldn't wear this is maybe once it gets over like the 90s, like into the hundreds, which it sometimes does for a week or so. And then at that point, I'm wearing shorts. So not a big deal. But for the warmer months, I can pretty much just get away with this. And even in like the colder months, throwing over my like Melton wool Drees jacket with this, or adding a thicker layer underneath here, like maybe my Lemaire sweater or something like that, or even putting the Lemaire sweater over the top of this. I mean, it's a pretty well-rounded outfit. You can pretty much get away wearing it year-round, which is exactly what I want my wardrobe to do for me at this point in time. I know this is no hate to anyone in particular, but I know when you are deep into fashion and you're going through style videos, there's like a lot of people who are like, oh, and I'm going to wear this outfit to go for like a matcha latte date, or I'm going to wear this for the movies, or this is the outfit idea to go to work or school. I'm not really big into like really compartmentalizing, is that the word? My outfits into very specific niche scenarios. Like I just want my clothes to live in. I do everything in every outfit. Like there's no dedicated outfit for a dedicated scenario. So having favorite outfits that can just be minimally altered to fit whatever temperature that is currently out. That's really what dictates what I wear is like the temperature. It's great. It's going to get the max amount of wear out of my closet. So yeah, I just thought I'd touch on that really quick, and we'll get into the next outfit. Okay, next up, and probably the last outfit, just because I don't want this video to get too repetitive. The thing about having a uniform is obviously things can get kind of redundant really fast, but I mean, that's fine for me. But just for the sake of like making a video about it, I feel like this should kind of just be it for the outfit section. But yeah, this is obviously more of a fun spring styled outfit. I've actually worn the hell out of this outfit last week because it was like 70s every day, and this was like the perfect weight and kind of color because I don't really wear a lot of color. If you've noticed, I really stick to my blacks and like maroons and like darker earth tones. So having something like this is really nice, especially these pants specifically. So the thing that I was kind of like a happy accident when I bought these was that on the Uniqlo website, these look a lot more blue than they really are in real life. And maybe even on the camera, they're coming across more blue than they really are. This is, I would say, like a true slate gray. And one thing about this Oralee shirt specifically, it's probably like one of my favorite shirts in my closet. But because of how I'm assembling the rest of my wardrobe, it's actually really hard to get wear out of this, or it was before, because I got rid of a lot of pants recently when I was redoing my wardrobe over the last few months, and I don't like this like really stark contrast of a brighter colored beige shirt on black jeans. And the jeans that I spam the most is probably my La Mer Twist jeans. I do wear this occasionally with my West jeans, like the cobalt blue West jeans. So that's been nice, but that's pretty much the only chance I get to wear them. So having a color like slate gray that ties so well into like this, you know, the other color, like the plaids that are in this shirt, it's really nice to have this color of pant, especially in the spring summertime, because it allows me to wear things like this Orly shirt and also my G sneakers. Because once again, I don't like that stark contrast of white sneakers on black jeans. These are things that I didn't really think about when I was selling things. I was just selling things that I thought didn't work with my style anymore, and then you're unfortunately left with oh my lord, consequences like that, where some things kind of get left out a little bit. But I knew I wasn't going to sell my Dre sneakers, and I knew I wasn't going to sell this Orly shirt just because it wasn't working at the time. I just knew there was going to be a way back to them, and this one pair of $50 pants from Uniqlo was that way back for both of these items. So I'm like really happy about that. It was like more of a happy accident. I didn't really plan that. But once you start trying different things with your wardrobe, you come across those happy accident outfits. So again, this is more of a relaxed vibe, obviously heavily inspired by the Orly Spring Summer 25 lookbook, by the way. There's a lot of things that I always admire, like the Orly lookbook, but sometimes it feels like out of my reach to be able to replicate just because it doesn't really fit with the rest of my closet. And what I mean by that is the Orly lookbook is very bright and very springy and very pastel colors. And again, like I was saying earlier, my closet really isn't that. So it's nice to be able to have be able to create this outfit out of my wardrobe without having to fully shift into that direction, if that makes any sense at all. Because these pieces can be used in a very different context that is more my style, like how I wore these easy pants with the black Uniqlo shirt with my Guides, and it becomes way more my color palette. But it is nice to be able to switch it up once in a while. And again, with the cinched bottoms, it just gives me something that I really wouldn't have otherwise. Now, don't get me wrong. If these were cinched permanently, like if there was no option, I would have never bought them. I just wanted to show you guys that with something like this, you can easily kind of step out of your comfort zone while still being in it, if that makes any sense at all. But yeah, one of my current favorite outfits that I've just been wearing a lot because, again, weight wise, like for heat purposes, it's really nice in this temperature right now. It's very nice and flowy. Obviously, you guys know this is a wool shirt, but because it's such a thin wool, I mean, you can probably easily wear it upwards of what, like mid 80 degrees, maybe 90 degrees. I probably wouldn't, but for some people, you probably could. Um, and yeah, do I have anything else to say about this? I don't think so. We've already been yapping way too much. So, as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, you guys got some inspo from these outfits. Remember, if you guys want to see more of my outfits, because I know that a lot of you like taking inspo from outfits, which is really cool. Um, follow me on Instagram and join the Discord, because you're just going to get way more outfit content that way than you will if you're just subscribed to my YouTube channel. Because dude, it takes way too long to like set up a video like this and have this much time to like talk to a camera and then edit the video afterwards. So yeah, follow the Instagram, follow or join the Discord. The Discord's actually been popping recently, so that's been really cool and fun to have that. And yeah, nothing really else to say. Yeah.
Dude, I deadass just can't hop on horse, bro. I don't know what the fuck the
He's
deal is.
racist, bro. He don't give a fuck about you, bro, bitch.
Fuck your horse anyways, dude.
Nah, you were
Fuck that.
glazing. You were glazing my horse. First thing you loaded in.
Damn, bro, where'd you get that horse from? Yeah, he's like broke
Yeah.
bitches.
Now I don't want it, dude. Now I
Broke
want that
levels
racing.
of bitches. You see this
Whose
drip,
horse is
bro?
this?
You see this drip, bro?
Damn.
I got that
I can't even help
Balenciaga
you.
on, bro, in game. I got the ERD drip on in game, full ERD head to toe with the chrome
Just
accessories.
get the
Fuck with me.
fucking yeah,
Look at that
the
chrome
leather jacket.
jacket, ERD belt, YSL plated steel toe boots, bro. This is crazy. The triple leather layering, leather overcoat, leather vest, leather overshirt, leather pants. Take notes. Hair, Ben Stiller. Let's go.
Ben Stiller from Zoolander.